Hello, my name is Lance, and welcome to the Urge Podcast. I coach men dealing with intimacy struggles, porn addiction, sex addiction, and the emotional patterns that can keep people feeling trapped in cycles of shame. And if you're listening right now, there's a chance something is coming up for you. Maybe it's an urge. Maybe it's a heavy feeling sitting in your chest or your stomach. Maybe your mind is already trying to get away from it, trying to fix it, or trying to figure out what's wrong. And if that's where you are right now, I just want to slow down for a moment. Because what's happening might not be what you think. A lot of people believe that when they feel this way, it means something is wrong with them, that they're the problem, that they need to fix themselves before things can get better. But what I've found, both in my own life and working with clients, is that we don't become the problem because we are the problem. We become the problem when we feel helpless. And that shift is really important because helplessness is one of the hardest feelings for the human nervous system to sit with. It feels like there's nothing you can do, no control, no way out, just intensity with nowhere to put it. And for a lot of us, this pattern didn't start as adults. It started much earlier. When I was a kid, if I felt sad or angry or anxious or scared, those emotions weren't really welcomed. They weren't met with understanding. They were met with tension or frustration or silence or the sense that I was adding pressure to something that was already too full. And when you're a child and the people who are supposed to take care of you can't fully hold your emotions, that creates a kind of confusion. Because on one hand, you feel something very real. But on the other hand, the response you're getting tells you that something about that feeling isn't okay. And a child doesn't sit there and analyze that logically. A child adapts. So the mind creates the only explanation that makes sense in that moment. It must be me. I must be too much. I must be the problem. And from there, a pattern begins. You start to disconnect from what you feel. You start to suppress it or hide it or try to override it because staying connected to it didn't feel safe. And that adaptation makes sense. It was intelligent. It helped you get through something. But the thing is, that pattern doesn't just disappear as you grow up. It follows you. So now as an adult, when a strong emotion comes up, sadness, anxiety, loneliness, or fear, it doesn't feel new. It feels familiar. But your system still responds the same way it learned to back then. And it happens fast, faster than thought. There's a feeling, and almost immediately there's a reaction. Something's wrong. I shouldn't feel this. I need to get rid of this. And in that moment, you're not sitting in awareness, you're in reaction. And that's where the urge comes in. The urge isn't random. It's not just a lack of discipline. It's a strategy, a learned way to move away from something that feels overwhelming. So we distract, we numb, so we can regain some sense of control. Because going back to that feeling of helplessness doesn't feel safe. So instead, the mind reaches for something familiar, something immediate, something that changes the state instantly. And this is where another layer comes in. Because a lot of people say to themselves, I'm the problem. But what they don't realize is that thought is also part of the strategy. Because if I'm the problem, then I can fix me, right? And that feels more in control than sitting with something I don't understand. So even self-blame can become a form of control. It moves you out of helplessness and into something that feels more manageable. But underneath all of that, there's still just a feeling that hasn't been fully allowed yet. And I want to be really clear here. This isn't about blaming your past, and it's not about staying stuck in it. It's about understanding where the pattern came from so you can start to relate to it differently. Because once you see it, you don't have to automatically follow it. So if you're in that space right now, if there's an urge or a heavy emotion or that familiar thought of something is wrong with me, see if you can pause just for a moment, and instead of trying to fix it or escape it, gently ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Not the story, not the explanation, just the feeling. Maybe it's tension, maybe it's sadness, maybe it's something you don't even have a name for yet. And that's okay. You don't have to solve it. You don't have to make it go away. Just noticing it is already a shift. Because now you're not fighting yourself. You're starting to be with yourself. And that's where something new begins. You're not the problem. You adapted to something that felt overwhelming the best way you knew how. And now you're learning a different way to respond, one moment at a time. So take a breath, slow it down. You don't have to figure everything out right now. Just stay with what's here. That's enough. And that's where change starts. If this helped you, email me at conversationswithlance@gmail.com. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember, if you can't love yourself in your worst moments, there's no way in hell you'll accept it in your best. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.